was really good, and everything he did was so good.
Imagine another scene of him killing a god, like just one more.
More. Guys should have
More
seen,
gore.
should have seen,
More gore, less Thor.
A bunch of gory gore killing
Gory
gods.
gore.
That's what I want to see.
I want to see Gorr's own movie.
Yeah.
Like bring out a Gorr movie.
Just him versus gods.
Yeah, and Thor can pop up and make one bad joke instead of 100,
yeah.
and then it'll be good.
Again, what's going on here? What the hell happened? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of BJ at the Movies. I am B.
And I'm J. I'm really hot. Oh, boy.
It's hot in here. I mean, we decided to wear some suits, look professional, because we are professionals. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am an actor, and you are... You know a lot more about Marvel than I do. You've seen the entire Marvel Universe cinematic experience, where I have seen bits and pieces.
That's correct.
So I think you were probably more hyped for this movie than I was, because I've seen, I think, the first Thor, and maybe another one. I think that was it.
I wasn't hyped for this movie because Thor is not my favorite. You know, I just went... Actually, the only reason why I went and told you to go is so we can review it as our first one, and because it's a popular movie. So I figured a lot of those Marvel marks might check it out.
Well, I feel like every time a Marvel movie comes out nowadays, it's like almost considered a must-see.
Yeah, even if it sucks. To start this, I just want to give an applause.
Or?
And I want to make it clear that this applause is not for Chris Pratt. It's not for Groot. It's not for Thor. It's not for Zeus. It's not for Lady Thor. What was it? What was her name again?
The Mighty Thor?
The Mighty Thor. Even though she did pretty well.
You got your bucket?
It's not for Raccoon,
your drink?
Sprocket the Rocket. It's not for... Who else was in this movie?
That's a lot of people already. That's a pretty big
It's not for the Hammer. It's not for the Broken Hammer.
It did have a big cast. It did have a lot of big names, of course. I mean,
It's not for Matt Damon.
Oh, yeah, Matt Damon was in this.
That applause was strictly for Gorr, played by I was gonna say Adam Pearce, played by Christian Bale. Absolutely incredible performance.
Yes.
By Christian
Absolutely.
Bale.
Yeah, okay.
We start off with the strongest part of the movie, and it's downhill from there. I mean, near the end, it's strong. Like, the battle scenes are cool and stuff, but, like,
of course.
The most emotional moment, obviously, the start.
Yeah, I mean, there's some emotional moments, like when the kids get all their powers and they attack. That's kind of like emotional a little bit. I feel like. Not even. It was very cheese.
Yeah, it was cheesy emotional.
A lot of cheese.
Yeah.
Sure, but it feels like this one's catering so much to kids rather than maybe adult viewers. But you're right, Christian Bale kills it. Did an amazing job, and maybe this is where like this imbalance comes in, right? Because he didn't 100% fit in here. Because was everything he did, seriously.
Yeah.
Where this movie's all about cheesy comedy, other than him.
I mean, this movie started off great. The first scene it got me excited for the movie. I was ready for it. I was ready for it 100%. Yeah. And then they just kept taking Thor's hammer and hit me over the head with a bad joke after bad joke after bad joke after bad.
A hand grenade? No, it's a portable speaker.
Non-stop. Nothing mattered. Nothing was serious. The whole world was crumbling. Someone had cancer. It didn't matter. It's just everyone's going to be fine.
The cancer stuff really seemed like it was just they're throwing it at you to like try so hard to make it serious.
A sprinkling of cancer here and
when
there.
Really, you didn't need so much. And they're saying it all the time and rubbing it in your face, like trying to balance out. Like I do like it. You have that intense scene at the beginning. Christian Bale, incredible. Then you move into the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff because he's with the Guardians.
Which a lot of people assumed that they would be heavily involved in this movie.
Yeah, I think you were saying that. Like, there's gonna be a lot of Guardians. Because cool. I like the Guardians movies for sure.
Yeah,
but you know what you're getting in that. You do have the seriousness, but the tongue-in-cheek kind of humor. Mm-hmm. You know that's all there, and they kind of go way beyond that in this one. And especially with the thing that I liked least about this movie is what?
Zeus.
Zeus was.
That's the least.
Abomination.
I mean,
Russell Crowe, first of all, is just the craziest casting. Playing this Greek god
You
with
don't-
his fake Greek accent.
Yeah, you didn't like him because he wasn't
It
authentic
was
enough.
it was just so over the top. It was so ridiculous. You know what I mean?
I thought he did a good job though. Maybe
Yeah,
out
because
of all
you
the,
find pleasure in my pain.
I didn't know you hated him in the movie.
Yes, you did. I
Like
was
when
sitting
it was
there going,
happening,
"Oh
I didn't
my
know.
God, I can't take this.
But I just found like it would like maybe it felt like too much because everyone else was over the top and everyone else was making jokes every 2 seconds. Like if we had one character like that, if Zeus was the only one like that,
well, like there's a little bit of seriousness to him, right?
Yeah.
It seems kind of cool, and I wanted that to continue. Like I get that he's overweight and he's older and stuff, but then with like the flipping of the skirt and stuff
that
like
was
that,
that was
like,
the on the nose thing. Like that's when it really hit you. But everything else, you get the feeling that he's kind of like a retired strongman or something because he would still fling around that thunderbolt with ease.
Yeah.
And he just was like didn't take things seriously. I'm super strong. I'm a little chubby now, whatever.
For sure.
But I'm still a beast.
And they
you
do
know?
like this big job hyping it up, like, oh my God, it's Zeus. You know, even Thor is so excited because that's like his inspiration.
The Zeus's kingdom was my second favorite setting in the movie. It was beautiful.
like
It
the
was
gods'
great.
kingdom that
the
they
whole
had.
setting and the all like his thunderbolt and all the tricks and stuff he was doing was visually very pleasing, whether you like Zeus or
I
not.
felt like it was a little, like they did such a good job bringing it into this world and they show it to you and it looks so grand, it looks so big, and obviously graphics-wise, incredible. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
They really bring you into that world.
Got to see his butt.
Yeah, for sure.
Very
of
nice
course.
butt. Didn't get to see his hammer.
No hammer, but
No.
you got to see the butt.
Yeah.
Maybe in a different movie you would see his hammer.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll make a parody. Yeah.
You have that lighting, you have this evil villain, but at the same time, you also have this kiddiness and this plainness, and it's like, well, pick a lane. You know, what are you trying to do for me here?
Which I don't
Which one is it?
mind, but they had too much of it. I would
Yeah.
say it was like 80% of the film was just joking about itself. It was like a Saturday Night Live parody
Yeah.
of a Thor movie.
I feel like we're downplaying a little bit Natalie Portman's acting in this because she did an incredible job.
She was
trying to play
better-
a cancer patient and trying to go through this and trying to go through chemo while also trying to have this like comedic factor is so confusing. But I thought she did an incredible job as well.
She was very convincing.
Really good
as
in all
Thor.
of her scenes, in all of the things she did. Whether she's Thor, whether she's back in her real life role, I thought she was incredible as well. So, I mean, these are two of the best actors that I've seen. You know, Christian Bale and Natalie Portman are amazing, and I thought they both killed it in this. You know, in spite of all the cheese, this overwhelming amount of fromage that's being drilled into my face, I thought both of them deserve a huge shout out. Would you say that Christian Bale is your favorite Marvel villain ever after seeing this?
I would really have to think about it, but he left a strong impression in a short time, similar to that of the Joker in the Dark was it Dark Knight Rises, or that was the third one? The second one?
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, straight up.
Yeah.
He was the Joker wasn't in that long. That whole movie was good in general, unlike this one, but the Joker's performance stands out for most people, and he wasn't in there that long. So this is kind of the same, except the Joker's will be remembered because it was a great movie. This movie was not that good, and I think his performance will be forgotten. He brought such a good, element to it. Maybe he was like the saving grace for me. Maybe that's why it seemed even better. Obviously, the way everything was shot in his universe, the dark black and white. It reminded me of like those old monster movies, like the way it was filmed. Like if those were filmed in HD and brought to like a modern level, like Mothra versus like King Kong. Like,
Those scenes from a cinematic perspective, I loved. When it
they're
gets
incredible. At least they didn't make Gorr like do a corny joke or let him in on a corny joke or mock him. Like maybe they tried to, but he didn't like break or he didn't like chuckle or make some stupid quip.
Yeah.
He was always legit and dark and deep and a threat.
he's always in character. His character wouldn't do any of those cheesy things. It's not in
No,
him.
exactly.
You know, he had a horrible life, and now he's this thing that's getting corrupted, and not only mentally, but by this sword. It's corrupting him, and he stays true to that the entire time. And when you're talking about The Dark Knight earlier, it's funny because you say that, because, I mean, I felt like right after I saw it, I was like, man, I feel like he took maybe some small inspiration from Heath Ledger's performance. You know, when he had those, when he was cackling at them, when he was laughing, his maniacalness.
Maybe.
I thought there was a little bit of Joker sprinkled on there. I mean, it's okay to take inspiration from something. He was
Of course, we all do.
on set with one of the, you know, people say it's one of the greatest acting performances of all time, and at least of our generation, Heath Ledger's Joker, so why not? Is this a must-see movie? I
No.
don't think it's a must-see unless it's to see Gorr.
Yeah.
More than it is to see Thor.
But then you're going to see like, what? Who was he in for 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Not even like.
It's still just an incredible acting performance of a villain in a Marvel movie. And if you're a fan of the Thor series, you do want to see this one, A, for that performance, and B, I guess to get the initial storyline and understand where the Thor franchise is going. Because if in fact they do Thor versus the Greek gods, or at least against Zeus and Hercules, because that seems to be where it's going based on the teaser. Spoiler. But obviously you're watching this, you probably have seen the movie, I hope so.
Would I recommend this movie? If you like Marvel, just go because they own you now. Go watch the movie. I would give it, like, as a Marvel movie, I would give it 7.1 maybe, or 7. As a real movie, like in the 5s.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe less.
5.4, 5.3?
Yeah. Let's say I'll give it 5.5. I'm honestly kind of done talking about Thor. That's all I got to say about that.
That's all we have to say about that.
B.J. Thor.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, good. Batman's entered the MCU.
All right, that's it.
Another classic Thor adventure.